Now, let me just mention Kanye real quick because we got a couple things to talk about him.
Yeah, man.
So one thing is supposedly he demanded an apology from Drake and J. Cole in a tweet that he put out. Now he didn't really keep it up. He ended up deleting the tweet, but you know the internet is savage. So as soon as he put it up, somebody screenshotting the hell out of that.
Oh yeah,
that's somebody's job right now, just to screenshot shit. That is somebody's job, just to screenshot shit right now. But man, I'd love to do that. Just pay me to screenshot everybody's tweets and shit. Yep. In case they delete them, you know.
Yeah, they delete them, and you come out with the,
you know. Well, yeah. So he no, he didn't explain why, but most people are saying that most likely it was because both of them threw some subliminal shots at him on songs. So, you know, hopefully all of that will get resolved. But you had something else that happened with Kanye making a couple of tweets.
Well, there's a couple of tweets we want to talk about real quick. Just give me a second. I'm going to pull up the volume just a little bit so we can get it slamming up in here. All right. But anyway, so here, and we're looking at... this is Billboard. I think it's Billboard News. Let me double check. Yeah, this is Billboard, Billboard.com website, and they wrote an article. But I just want to share the tweets. So basically, this happened today. Yeah, this happened today at 8:12 this morning. Let me see here. Actually, this one's at 8:23. Excuse me. We sat back and watched Nick Cannon get canceled, and we go to play ball in a bubble with Black Lives Matter on our backs. Brother, let's stand together for real. There's no NBA or music industry without black people. Fair contracts matter. Ownership matters. We also have another tweet. Again, that was at 8:12 this morning. And I'm the only person who can speak on this because I made multi-billions outside of music. Our musician make billions inside of music. I'm going to change this. So, again, like I was telling, telling some folks, man, like, Kanye, he might act crazy, but the nigga ain't crazy. I always said that. I said that moments ago, even with this whole, the slavery of the choice, the Harriet Tubman shit, which they kind of clipped and they didn't really put everything in the contents. He said a lot of other stuff. Oh, by the way, that's another thing I'm about to say. Kanye West, when he went for the, to be president or whatnot, he missed the deadline by 14 seconds. I forgot what state it was. But we missed it by 14 seconds, and the judge was like, nah, we can't do it.
Wow.
14 seconds. 14 seconds.
It's crazy, B.
You need to make, Kanye, if you're listening, I hope you're listening, but if you're listening, you need to make an album or a song called 14 Seconds.
Yeah.
That would be great.
14 seconds made the difference between you and the ballot.
That would be great. But, yeah, man, so I stand behind what he's saying. Honestly, I know we have talked about this last week, the whole thing between Joe Budden and Charlamagne the God, but it kind of goes along with that same level. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got these old deals of like, oh, well, you get this and we'll get off most of this. Right. And they, we're pretty much, black people like us, we do most of the work, do most of the content, put it out, but we get the least. But they get the most because they got, well, we did this, we did the distribution, we did this for you, we made sure, this and this is, but you get that. But he did most of the work, all that. So,
I really agree with Kanye because, I mean, sometimes I think Kanye is, he comes off the wrong way because what he says hits the ear the wrong way. So I think he's just highly misunderstood. So, I definitely, the more I listen to him, I'm like, okay, he do make some good, solid points, man. You know what I mean? He really does. So I think we got to give Kanye more of a chance to really explain himself because, I mean, he's one of those impulsive people that sometimes it's just hard to swallow, but if you listen to the full context, you start to understand what he's going through.
Oh yeah.
And we did kind of sit back and watch Nick Cannon just get canceled over stupidness. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Because he ain't mean no harm, but he had to go through this whole almost social media rehab just to make himself acceptable again.
Actually, Kanye went on his show with Nick Cannon.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so
I didn't see the whole thing.
Yeah,
I saw some clips.
Yeah, that's the same.
And it seemed pretty good though. You know what I mean? So I'm glad he did that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, a lot of times, there's a lot of black exploitation going on in the industry, and I'm glad that he's trying to make a difference in some kind of way. So. I think he's just a hard pill to swallow. That's all it is with Kanye.
So let's shout him out.
Yeah.
Jesus!
Jesus! That's my dude, man.
Yeah, man.
And if he go back to making some solid music, man, I'm good. I know he into the gospel thing right now, but hopefully we go back to get some street music from him too, man.
Yeah.
That would be dope. Alright, so what do you want to talk about next? You want to talk about Joe and
Yeah, well, first of all, let's congratulate Charlamagne for God to get in the little thing with the partnership with iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
A lot of black podcasts is going to be on there. I think Drink Champs moved to there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Nori and there's a couple other black podcasts. I think
Drink Champs was on Revolt. I didn't think they would have an issue with being on Revolt.
Yeah, I think it's maybe like a partnership. They signed some type of deal.
Oh, okay. So
I'm not for sure. I don't want to speak too much.
It would
on
be
that.
dope if it's on both. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hopefully, because I mean, I don't know. I think they get pretty good ratings on Revolt. So we'll see. But yeah, man, shout out to Charlamagne, man. I mean, he making some moves, you know what I mean? And I'm glad that, he's doing his thing, you know what I mean? So.
But yeah, this is also, but that's another thing, like this is in junction of, Joe, supposedly, allegedly, didn't take the 200, asked for 250 mil and didn't get it, but he didn't get that. He wasn't asking for that. So, my man Solo Kurt, ho ho ho, what
up? The only other Kurt I respect, Solo Kurt.
But yeah, so you know what I'm saying. So him, Joe was talking about basically like, hey, we're not the same. We're doing, you're trying to play catch up. iHeart's trying to play catch up. They're trying to get in this iPod game, and podcast game, and they don't know what they're doing. And it's I think it's kind of evident because I have the app, the iHeart app, but most of the time I listen to with it. When I listen to it, it's either the radio or maybe a couple, like a mix I made. But podcasts, no, I don't think iHeart when it comes to podcasts.
Right.
Maybe they will change that.
Yeah.
But still, only thing that's about that, Charlamagne gave them pretty much half. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like,
yeah.
So that's like they pretty much own that, and on top of that, all the other stuff they own.
Yeah.
And that's what Joe was talking about. Like, y'all out there trying to make shots at me, but I'm moving and I'm telling you how to move. And, and that's another thing he was saying, like, okay, some people have to get a check. Right. And I understand that. You know what I'm saying? There's no wrong way about going about doing stuff. It's just that for him, he's doing it this way. And this works for him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but shout out to both those guys. I do hope that they get to a point of understanding. I think they both respect each other, honestly. I feel that it's just one of them are seeing things in a different light than the other. Yeah. I think that's all it is.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I think you're right, though. I think iHeart is trying to play catch up. And if they play their cards right, they could get a good slice of the pie, man. But it's going to take some hard work and some real strategy to really get in there, man. So but like you said, you don't really think about podcasts when you think about iHeart. You know what I mean? So,
I don't.
Yeah, you really don't. I mean, but I'm sure they're going to have to play catch up. And so hopefully everything will work out, man. But shout out to Charlamagne. Shout out to Joe Budden. Because, I mean, they're both doing their thing, like you said, from different ways. I think Joe Budden is more so like, whatever I do, I just want ownership. I want my ownership. And I don't want to always be under somebody. You know what I mean? I want to be the owner. And Charlamagne is more so like, yeah, I want all of that, but I'm willing to be partners. And as long as I'm making good money and all that good stuff. I think people like Charlamagne, he's right. He wants to make his bag. He wants to protect his family. You know what I mean? So nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? I think if it were me personally, I would kind of lean more toward ownership like Joe. But I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, some people, they work a job and they work a business in order to keep things going, until they take over that business full time. Some people just like to be in both worlds. Right. There's nothing, again, there's no wrong answer.
Right. Exactly.
It's just how you do stuff.
But yeah, like you said, man, it is what it is. Let's talk a little bit about my man. Well, not my man. The industry's man, Thhp 6ix9ine. He was pretty desperate for an interview, man. He was hitting people up, but getting turned down left and right, man. He hit up Gilly, my man that represents Philly, and Gilly shot him down. Gilly was like, nah, I don't want to associate myself with that. And the thing is, I can kind of see why. Because after he hit up Gilly, he tried to hit up another guy who's like a lawyer, a very popular lawyer in hip hop, because he has a pretty big platform. He's like, okay, you do the interview with me then, and it'll be the biggest interview you ever had. You know what I mean? He was like cussing out Gilly for not doing it. The lawyer told him the same thing. Nah, I don't want to touch it. And because what's happening is they're asking him the question, and I think they've all asked him the same question. What exactly is your goal with this interview? What kind of information are you trying to put out there? Is it just to, promote an album? Is it something else? And so from what they're saying, he's kind of beating around the bush, but he eventually says, well, I want to expose people who are working with me but don't want to admit they're working with me. You know what I mean? Because, he knew when he came out of jail, a lot of people didn't want to work with him. Prison, I should say. And so he's like, yeah, there's been some rappers who've been working with me and y'all don't even know it because they don't want y'all to know it. And you can ask me. Yeah, exactly. And so he's like, you can ask me anything. I'll answer all your questions. This will be the biggest interview of your career. And they're like, nah, still no. Because basically, and then after the lawyer guy, he went to Joe Budden and asked him, okay, you interview me. Well, his representatives asked, and Joe Budden said the same thing. What exactly is your intention? And it came out the same way, and they're all like, okay, it sounds like you just want to snitch on more people. We don't want to be associated with that kind of behavior. If that's all you coming up here to do is to expose people, we're not really into it. Now, he did finally get somebody to interview him. Yes, sir. He got shot down 3 times, so he finally got some guys on he finally got some guys to interview him on a YouTube channel called Impulsive. And I saw the interview. I have to admit, in the interview, he more so kept playing the victim. And it was just a whole bunch of complaining about, the industry. And, I didn't even make it through the whole thing. But basically, he started taking shots at people like Trippie Redd and Dirk and Meek Mill, all of them. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like he sounded like he was just playing the victim the whole time, and then he just, let me just start talking about how this person ain't nothing, and this person is doing bad. Trippie Redd ain't selling nothing. Meek Mill this, and such that, and it was just like, dude, man, is this all you got? Is that all you got? I'd rather hear you promote some music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
You know, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not even gonna listen to it. But I'd rather hear you promote music than to just sit there and complain and bitch about other people. You know what I mean? I don't get that.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is, I think it started with the shadow banning. So really, right now, he's looking like a fish out of the water. That's really what he's looking like right now.
So let me pose this question: what exactly does shadow banning mean?
Okay, so basically, shadow banning is. I'll tell you what. Let me look up a good definition.
Let's look up a definition. Because I keep hearing the term go around, and it sounds like kind of one of them blackball.
Yeah, I mean
type of deals where you get blackballed a certain way in the industry. I don't know what it's from, but he said he did mention that he went up to Apple Music and they're not promoting any of his music on Apple Music. He said normally when you drop new music, they're either going to show how much you're charting or that at least that you release new music. He said he's not on either one of those lists. So he's like, they didn't even announce that he had new music. So he was kind of mad about that.
Okay, so this is what it says. According to Wikipedia, our reliable source. Anyway, shadow banning, also called stealth banning, ghost banning, or comment ghosting, is the act of blocking or partially blocking a user or their content from an online community so that it will not be readily apparent to the user that they have been banned. So really,
basically being blackballed.
Yeah, he pretty much. Yeah, they're doing bitch shit on some bitch shit.
Right. Exactly.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. You know, they blackballing you without telling you they blackballing you. You know.
Oh, my man, Luis Sosa now.
What up, Sosa? What up, man? We appreciate you checking us out, man.
Yeah.
Solo Kurt, if you're still there, shout out to you. We appreciate you. But yeah, so I mean, like I said, Tekashi just played the victim in the interview, and all he did was complain about people. He took shots at Trippie Redd, Dirk, Blueface, and Meek Mill, and it was just like, dude, man. I mean, you just sound like a crybaby right now, man. So
the whole thing. Another thing too. What was the whole thing where we were talking about, man? So y'all gonna call me a bitch because I got security? Y'all call me a bitch? Like, damn, you know, Tekashi, he didn't have security. He got killed. Pop Smoke didn't have, you know, he got killed. I get security because now I'm a bitch. But the thing of it is, sir, you done
so much bitch shit.
You done much bitch shit.
You wouldn't have to have security. You really wouldn't have to have security if you were more of a genuine person. And you know what I mean, you didn't do what you did, but that's neither here or there. But I mean, that's just the facts, man. You know, you're doing all this bitch stuff. Like I said, every time you get a chance, it sounds like you complaining about somebody. You know, just if you really want to make good music, just make your music and just move on. Stop complaining about who charting more than you and shouldn't be and who this and that. I mean, nobody want to hear all that.
Well, don't get me wrong. Like, my thing of it is, really, even if you weren't a bitch, I can understand you having some type of security if you're famous or not. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you have to walk around with a couple, I can understand that, especially in this day and age, in this climate, because shit is crazy.
Yeah.
But you can't say that you the hardest dude out here, you up over here doing this, that, and the third, and say that you the realest nigga alive with all this, running with all these, gangs and stuff. Then you snitch on them, get out, and then run with security.
Right.
And then on top of that, he probably got a big size of security. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Probably got about 100 bodyguards. They bodyguards got bodyguards, right. And it just,
Yeah, man. I mean, but it's like you know, it's like you said, there's nothing wrong with a little security, I guess. I ain't gonna front on that. But, people don't respect you because of the stuff that you do. So that's what it is. I mean, like what he did with Nipsey Hussle. He went to the little mural of Nipsey Hussle and try to do that little kneel and take a picture in front of it like he was paying respect. Nah, he was looking for a photo op.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, man. Like, and I think that probably one thing that kind of hurt him too, because he know that Nipsey wouldn't pay him no money,
right?
And wouldn't get and would smack the shit out of him.
Exactly. Nobody like that would have paid no attention to you. So you were just trying to appeal or pander to a certain audience.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, man, I just feel like it's trash, man.
And that's another thing too. On that video, it's just bodyguard. I don't see any like friends,
right?
Mm-hmm. If he had
nobody rolling with him like that,
no, man,
nobody. But anyway, man. Guess we can move on. I don't want to spend too much time on.
No, fuck that nigga, son.